Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
Yo, we're in here for Flippinar 213, wholesaling real estate without using your cash or credit. We have a title. The seller wants to use their contract. Is it a deal breaker? So we'll get to answering that question in a moment. Renikia will be joining us very shortly. And so, why am I looking like this?
Like what?
Let me see. I'm doing the wrong thing here. Let me see. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay. Oh, we need to zoom that in. Zoom it in. You know, the front. Yeah, grab that. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Zoom in a little more. Let them see how cute I am. Get close. There you go. Too much. They might run. All right, boom. All right, so we zoomed in on the camera or whatever. It's always on me. Had some other stuff going on today, so somewhat made time get by. So I got the text set up. If you hadn't already seen it,
I've already sent it.
Okay, so boom. So if you want to join us live, get your questions answered. Got your own personal seminar going on. Just text the word Gator to the number here, 205-964-5243. We will answer your questions. We're going heavy on land. You'll be hearing more about it, but I put together a video a couple of weeks back on how to target owners of land, plus the script. If you want a copy of that script and to see that video, text the word MUD, MUD. Still, if you need buyers for your houses, you can text the word buyers. That video will show you how to get down leveraging real estate agents. If you're doing cold calling and you need a dialer to speed up things and make it more efficient, to get more deals, text the word dialer. Need to build list. Text the word list to target for cold calling and text messaging on the buyer or seller side. Most people fail in this business because they never understand what makes a great deal. This video here will help you out. Text the letters GD to 205-964-5243. The old infamous contract. A little hot in here, guys. They had the heat on. Text the word contract. This is the contract I've been using since 2003. Been giving it away since 2008. You can get your own version of it. Just text the word contract to the number 205-964-5243, and that's how we get down. If you want training on prop streaming, you sign up through dealulator.com. Text the word tool to this number one to sign up for it, but text the word time. Text the word time if you want to train. I pulled the wrong card up. Text the word time if you want to sign up for it and through Dealulator and then get the free training on how to use it like we use it. Text the word time. All right. Over to you, Adrian.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us this Thursday for Flip 213. Yeah, I just said I gotta go do something too. Man, it's horrible.
No.
Yes.
No,
yeah, straighten it out. Pretty long too. Just pop up. Anyway, stop. We live. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining us. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
That's
Hopefully,
what it is?
Yes, March 17th.
Oh, wow.
St.
What does that
Day.
mean? What does it actually mean? And for who?
Irish.
Not me.
But still, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's a Celtic holiday.
I'm just tripping.
Yeah, it's a Celtic holiday. I don't know. Leprechauns, rainbows, charms, all that kind of stuff. Brittany!
I told her,
Boom!
Hello.
I didn't tell her to do the thumbs. I didn't tell her to
I knew what it meant. I knew when I saw it. All right, guys, the gang is all here. Again, thank you for joining us on this show, number 213. This is the place where you ask your questions. Your questions are answered in regards to real estate investing, not just wholesaling, a little bit of all of it, but we do put a focus on wholesaling, which you can do with little to no cash or credit. So, Rennie, how you been?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Did y'all hold it down last week while I wasn't here? Because,
We didn't do it.
yes, you
Yeah.
did.
We didn't do it.
Really?
You didn't even
Yeah.
look.
I didn't even look.
No, we didn't do it. We didn't do it.
Oh my God, I'm so bad.
No, we didn't do it.
You didn't do it because of me?
Sort of, but
Oh,
You're an
pressure.
important piece of the puzzle.
My gosh, now I feel bad.
no, it's cool.
No, and you know what? I normally do watch. I normally chime in, do like a wave, a hey, or something. I didn't do that last week. Oh my gosh, my bad. Okay, I'm gonna focus. Let me focus on people in the chat. BB, Bolger, Malcolm Jamal, I see you. Evelyn, Jose, Corey, Anthony, Tim, KD. Thank you all for joining us. Nordy, Sean, thank you. Natalie, Gilbert, and Omar. Also, I see you guys over there on TikTok and Instagram, Island_Jennifer F. Thomas 8206. Thank you for joining us. I am Cheyenne Renee. I'll get to your question first. And you're matter. Okay, what's up? He says, hi, Flip Man. All right, so this is a place where you ask the questions, but I am going to say, if you want to ask your question yourself, text the word Gator to the number 205-964-5243, and you can join us live. Ask your question, your follow-up question, and your follow-up question after that. And make sure you have a clear understanding by coming on live tonight with us. Yay, do it. Okay. So I am Shan Renee, and this is from Instagram. It says, if you find a house with the address missing, how do you go about finding the address?
Well, hopefully, it's in between two houses. So in a lot of cases, houses are separated in increments of 4s, sometimes 2s, but normally in the increments of 4. So you might be at, okay, so you may have 1200 Main Street, and then it jumps to 1208. So your house, which is in between those, is probably 1204. But you should be able to figure it out. And then sometimes you can look directly across the street. If 1205 is directly across the street, yours is probably 1204, but it's easier with the ones on the left or the right. Or you may be on the corner, so same thing, it may be 1208, 1204, and then your house may be 1200 or whatever. So now most people have a smartphone, so you just simply say, hey, depending on what device you have, normally it's only going to either be one or two. It's going to be an Apple device or an Android operating system. So you ask Google, hey, Google, what's my location? If you're sitting right in front of the address, it normally will identify it right there. It'll come very close, but normally it'll identify it. Or you say, hey, Siri, what's my location? And it give it to you. So boom. Now, if you using PropStream or Batch Leads or any of those services, you can do the same thing. They normally have a geolocate feature on those apps. So.
All right. Thank you for answering that. Shayla Delaney says, hey, what's up? Thank you for joining us on Instagram. Tim, I do see you in the chat. I will bring you on as soon as I read this question from Richie Rich 5.0. What's up, Flip Man? I wanted to know if you're dealing with a broker and they ask for proof of funds. Do you have that? So how would you, as the wholesaler, get paid? And will you have to pay them anything?
Well, I guess I can start that question off. So, proof of funds letter. I mean, when you're dealing with a real estate agent, 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask for a proof of funds letter. That's just the makeup of real estate agents. That's what they are taught to ask for. So it's almost nowhere around it. A lot of times when you're dealing with a real estate agent, I know Ty has this website we can go pull the POFs from, but you have to deal with the lender, or if you know how to pull your POF, 9 times out of 10, a real estate agent is going to ask for proof of funds. You got to be able to produce it, or they're going to consider your offer just obsolete because you can't even be able to provide a proof that you can purchase. So they're just not going to entertain it without it.
Yeah, they're not going to take you serious if you can't provide that. Period. They then just not. Period. Whether it's through a lender, your own money, or a combination of both. Now, if you're talking in terms of wholesaling, that's one of the things. If you're even asking that question, you're a newbie, right? And I strongly advise you to avoid dealing with agents. There's too many layers there that someone that's inexperienced, it's harder for them to deal with. Plus, there are easier deals out there in most cases. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, guess what? Tyrone has the shovel for you. Text POF to 205-964-5243 and have a POF source. It's not free, but if you want to pursue that, then boom, I got you.
Before I get to Tim, where's the sheet?
What sheet?
The keywords, the text words.
I'm
supposed
slipping.
to be created. Yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago.
I'm slipping.
Okay, just
So-
making sure. Okay, I'm just making sure.
What do you want me to say?
I'm just saying.
You call me with my skirt down,
No,
man.
I'm just saying, like, I be on it. Okay. All right, Tim. So, how you doing? Oh, hey, Tim, we caught you at work. You good?
Drive through it.
Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you. Where you calling from, Tim?
Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Flip man, I'm calling from Indianapolis. Flip man, you the truth, baby. You heard me?
All right, man.
I just started this fight. I was following another guy, but I just really didn't understand it. So I seen you somehow, and I was like, oh man, this guy, hey man, you are the truth. Like, you really, if a person got any kind of comprehension or common sense, it's like, oh man. But man, look, I got houses down here that, you know what I mean, Indianapolis. Where you sell by owner, man. Like, Indianapolis, Indiana.
All right, just text me on it. Yeah, we're having a little trouble hearing you. Yeah, just text me on this number. Just text me the information on this number.
Hold on. Shucks.
Hey.
Okay, check.
Yeah, we can hear you better now.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Yeah, I'm driving, my bad. So I just text you out information?
Yeah, just text me on it and we'll go from there.
Okay, all right, I got you. All right, nice meeting y'all though.
All right,
Right.
just remind me to Tim in the orange shirt.
Yeah, I got my own little business, man, Colossal Foundation. I be, remodeling houses, but I'm new at all of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
good.
it's a lot of houses down here though, and it's for sale by owner. So I'm like, yeah, I need to link up with you, man.
Oh, yeah. Just again, remind me you were in the orange shirt so I can,
I'm gonna text my number too, right? Or just text you.
Yeah. Put it all in there. Put it all in the text.
Okay, I got you. All right, man. Nice meeting y'all though.
So,
All right, nice meeting you too, Tim.
All
Have a
right,
good
man.
night.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care.
All right, guys, you too can join us live and ask your questions like Tim and Malcolm. Malcolm's back. Malcolm joins us.
Oh, that's my man. Hey, that's my boy from Mobile. Yeah, what's up, man? Bring him on.
It was like a couple weeks ago.
What's up? What's going on? How you doing, family?
hello.
How everybody doing?
Hey, Mobile town, baby. What's happening?
Not much. So I got a question. I have a client that I normally maintain her yard that is actually wanting to sell her property.
Okay.
Only thing is she has a mortgage.
Okay.
So I'm thinking this may be like a sub-2 type of deal.
Okay.
My question is how would I structure a sub-2 for her? What would be the process of doing something like that? Or are you familiar?
Well, it's not my strong point. Let me ask you some questions. is she in trouble financially, or she just
So
doesn't want the responsibility of the payment anymore? If just some little background.
so she purchased the house about 10 years ago. And the first year she moved out and actually started renting it. So eventually I think there was some damage to the house. They actually worked on it. They actually did some work to it. She actually had it for sale on the market for a while back. I think there were some things that she needed to get done that she didn't want to do to the house. She didn't want to. I think there was like a roof or something like that. Maybe a couple things that she needed to get done in order for it to sell for the amount that she needed. So I think if I'm not mistaken, I think she was telling me that the mortgage is around 62 to 68 is what she owed. The ARV for that property is probably about 100.
Okay.
It's right at 100. So
you picked up you sense that she wants to just walk away from it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yes. So that's the deal. She wants to get out of it. She don't really want to make the payments. As a matter of fact, I think she's behind, on a few payments.
Okay, so yeah, you need to if possible get her to be clear on that. Then now that's a subject to opportunity at that point.
Okay.
What do you know the rental rates in that area?
So for that size house, I think it's around. Matter of fact, it's the same area from my first deal.
Mm-hmm.
So the rent rate is between 900 and 1,000.
Okay. Okay. So what do you know what her monthly payment is?
I think she was telling me, I think it was like right at 560, 580, I think it was.
Okay. That wouldn't be a bad little cash flow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's probably her. It seems like her interest rate is high. 68,000. It should be like $250 a month.
Yeah, she probably, she got it about a minute ago, probably.
It was 10 years ago.
Might have
That's
an
a good
adjustment.
cash flow. That's a good turnkey property.
Yeah. What?
Only thing.
Is that an Airbnb area of Mobile?
So yeah, it's it's an Airbnb area. There are multiples around in this area, So, but the thing about it is, she had it as a rental, and the last renter moved out probably about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it needs a lot of work.
It needs a roof. That was one of the things that was on the list that she needed to get done. As far as, I think she said that it had previous termites, so probably need a termite bun. I don't even think it has a termite bun on it. Other than that, the house is in pretty good shape. Okay.
All right. So do this. We could discuss it in more detail. Just, you know how to get in touch with me. Hit me up.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, but since she's like she's motivated, so
yeah,
ready to basically walk away from it. So it's definitely an opportunity on a property like that. So just hit me up. We'll talk about it.
All right. Appreciate it.
Just hit me up tomorrow, man.
All right. Sounds good. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
All right, man.
You too. All right. Thank you, Malcolm, for joining us. And Malcolm doing things.
Oh, yeah. He worked at the steel shipyard. Got lawn care service going. You know what I'm saying? He wholesaling.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
I don't even think he's 30 yet. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
And a married man with a couple of kids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Focus.
Yeah.
Okay. Jumping right back into these questions, guys. I see your question. Natalie says, I have a seller who wants to sell a 15-acre farmland in Indianapolis, wondering how to comp and where to start.
All right. Okay, so 15 big ones, acres. Now, okay, a simple thing you can do. This is not like this is what I've learned here recently. Um, is now if it's farmland, that means it may be in an area where there's not a lot of activity. Okay, but that's okay. Okay, so a simple thing you can do is that particular county. Start with the zip code first, and just do a simple search on Zillow, and go into the. Let me just pull it up really quick. You want to go into. Pull it up. Hold on one second. So you'll go over to home type, and you want to use for sale on the first where it says sold, for sale, rent. You want that first filter, and then on the home type you want to deselect everything and then just only select lots and land. All right, now if there are any properties that are currently for sale in that particular zip code, this is not like a scientific way of doing it, but from what you'll have to go by with free resources, this is going to be give you your best angle. What you'll do is that you'll look for properties that are for sale in that area, right? And what you'll do is though, you'll look at it yourself and try to see what properties are selling for consistently, or they trying to sell them for per acre. Then you'll go and change that first filter from for sale to sold, to see what properties have sold for in that particular zip code or county. Now, the county may be too wide of an area. That's why I'm focused on zip codes and maybe zip codes near that particular zip code. Also, the filter that you want to use in Zillow, you want to go to more, and then when you're doing the sold option, you want to go under sold in the last. You can go all the way up. It'll give you an option of going up to the last 36 months. First, you want to start with the last 12 months. You don't pull anything last 24 months, then go up to 36. Now, under that, especially on the for sale side of it, see if you notice any realtors with multiple listings at different addresses. Sometimes you'll see realtors with multiple listings because it may be in the same subdivision. You don't want that. You want to see if you can find a realtor that has multiple listings there that are actually not on the same street or on the same subdivision. Reach out to those particular agents and ask them. You don't have to give them their address. Ask them what will farmland sell for in XYZ zip code or whatever. And hopefully you're talking to a realtor that deals with a lot of land, and then they can sort of give you an idea of what is selling for per acre in that particular area of that county. Especially since it's rural. But you can do that you can do that same stuff in more populated areas, but definitely in rural areas, you're going to need some of those expertise from agents.
All right. Thank you for answering that. That was in regards to land and how to comp it and where to start. So let's go ahead and jump into our next question from Miss Lady, died 1964. Hello, how is everyone? I would like to know if the flip man can help me structure a deal on a plot of land inside of a community in Parker, Arizona. I have spoken with the owner and their price is $65,000.
How big is it? How big is the lot? You can give it to me in acres, or depending on what you're using as your source for information, it may just give it to you in square footage, right? As far as the size of the lot. Now, to give you a visual, 1 acre is the actual square footage on it is 43,560 square feet. All right. If you can't visualize that, some of you all may have heard me say that, it's approximately a football field without the end zones, to give you just a visual of what an acre is. Right. So now, again, we don't have enough information, but that process I just explained from the farmland, you can do the same thing for this lot, and especially if it's in, like I said, a more heavily populated area, and it's in an area where they're doing, it doesn't even have to be in an area where there's a lot of development. But if you're in a B and C area with a lot, people will build on it. Would you agree with that, Renika? If they're in a B and A, even if there's no development in that immediate area, and if you got a lot, people will build on it in those type of neighborhoods.
Absolutely. I mean, if you got a lot in a neighborhood, it's buildable without even second guessing, what will be the value. We know that, hey, this is a subdivision that has single family homes on it. I can build another single family home in this subdivision and be able to recoup the value that I'm looking for. So I think when you got a plot of land in a subdivision, now the farmland is a different tactic. I mean, there's not a lot of farmland out there to compare it to and things of that nature. But when you get a piece of a plot of land in a subdivision, I think it's easier to figure out, well, what can I sell this property for? Personally, I think that you have to look at it as if you were really developing the land. Okay, if I was really developing the land, what can I really build on, and what will be the real cost of it? If I'm in a BC neighborhood, all houses are going for $300,000-$400,000. I'm gonna know that the maximum value of what I can do is probably $450,000-$500,000 in this neighborhood. What is going to cost me to build that? And just kind of run your numbers backwards, and now you can figure out what would be the maximum price someone will be willing to pay, because sometimes they'll overpay for land in the right subdivision when the upside of the build out is grand, and I'll be able to recoup my money from the build out of the upside. So I think just approaching it as if you are developing it and really running your numbers like a person that's really going to do new construction on that property.
All right. Thank you for answering that question. Over here on Instagram, let's see here. Saying hi to PYT_Mickey, who wants to know, how do I make money while under 18? Sis girl, let's just focus on those grades and we'll talk about the money when I get home. Get off this live. Okay, that's Mickey. My bad.
That's a good question, though.
You didn't pay attention. That's Mickey on Instagram saying, please say hi to me, Miss Anonymous. So I guess I'm Miss Anonymous.
Okay.
Y'all, that's my baby girl. Baby girl.
Okay.
Some say.
Hey, she's trying to figure it out. She's trying to figure it out. He's trying to get this money by tomorrow,
Right.
But to answer her question, she wants to know, how can you make money? She's not 18 yet. She's not even
13, 12.
Oh, wow.
So what you would do is you consume this content, because I know you ain't got nothing but time. If you don't have anything else, you have an enormous amount of time. So become an expert through, especially my channel. You can tap into other resources if you like, of course. And what you would do then is you would partner with someone of age, right, that can legally sign a contract, and you be the brains behind the operation. Now, that individual could be a parent, a brother or sister, a relative or someone, So there you go, Miss Nikki.
Mm-hmm. Okay, get your mama. Go get your mama.
There's a lot of teenagers becoming millionaires out here.
You know what?
Teenagers are different. They ain't selling candy at school. They out here buying stocks and crypto.
That candy at school ain't good enough for these.
No, they buy crypto at this age,
Yeah.
They have opportunities. Oh my God.
Like no other. Yeah.
All right, going to the next comment. This listener says, one of my issues that I'm having is getting a hold of sellers. Are there any suggestions on that?
So when you go ahead, they're having trouble reaching sellers.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to really follow up on that. But in my opinion, it's kind of like this. I mean, when I look at everybody as a human being, and if I'm calling someone randomly, they don't know the number. I mean, we living in a time where people are not picking up numbers that they don't know. So I think one of the easiest way to get them and get their attention, because at the end of the day, if they don't pick it up, they don't know who's calling and who's or what you need. But I think today, text messages is the golden egg right now to getting in touch with people, because everyone are not picking up calls that they don't know. But one thing they are going to do is open up that text, regardless if it's from a number that they don't know or not. So I would necessarily really implement more the text service to these sellers, so you can get to the point without them answering the phones. Like, hey, if someone texts you and say they want to buy your house, if you're interested, you're going to call them back. So I would say implement texting and hoping that they'll text you back or call you.
Put that address in there first in the text message. Because a lot of times you have the preview on your text. Oh, wait a minute, it's one of my houses. You know what I'm saying? So
maybe you want to open it.
Yeah, make them open it. Like, what is this?
All right. So that question was in regards to getting the sellers to respond, getting sellers on the phone. Your matter has.
Well, just to elaborate on that a little more, I would like to. I know maybe you'll see it if they repost. What have you done to try to reach them? Let's establish that. What have you actually done to reach them? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Richie Rich, do the follow-up and I will come back to that. Your matters question is, I started doing wholesaling and I'm trying to target deceased owners. How do I find them? So if you're trying to do a list of...
Well, you're not trying to find the deceased owner. We probably know where they are.
You know what?
If you're trying to find out who's
ain't gonna
next
find them. You find them. Let me know. Tell God I say hello, because you're the wrong realm if you find the deceased.
You know what you mean.
So,
No. We got you, though. We got you.
So you're gonna have to try to find those heirs, man. Those which normally are relatives is what you're going to be looking for. One of the sites occasionally used when it goes that far is Intellus, INTELLIUS.com will produce potential relatives, and then you have to skip a stem. You can first. You probably want to ask the neighbors.
Okay.
A lot of times they just know.
Okay, I'm gonna interject here. Interject. Okay, because everything absolutely valuable information there. If I'm trying to find the relatives of the deceased owners, what he's saying, I believe, is that he's trying to create a list of properties from owners who have.
Well, yeah,
passed.
you're
so
basically
like
talking about
obituaries, probate list.
You're basically talking about probate list. Yeah, if I have a couple of videos on that. My interviews, my guys over at All the Leads, they're experts on, that probate process. If you do a YouTube search for Flipman and probate, there's going to be a number of videos that come up on that. So.
All right, thank you. So we're going to go into John Jackson Jr. And the question is, can you flip without cold calling? There's more than a way to market, right? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a lot of other marketing ways without cold calling.
Oh, yeah.
You got to call somebody, though. You have to call somebody eventually, but.
Yeah. It ain't for everybody. You're looking at one of them, but I know it can be very, very, very productive, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one of the least expensive ways of generating leads, but it can be one of the more time consuming, and it takes a lot of patience to do it, because it's a grind, man. Even with a dialer, he's talking about cold calling. I can't believe I ain't throw this up. Obviously, you got your dialers that will put calling on steroids, where you call in 4, I think this is a call up to 10 people at a time, and it just stops whenever one person picks up. But it can make it more efficient. But if done correctly, you can produce an enormous amount of leads from cold calling. Now it allows you to get into whatever market you want. I know targeting landowners, cold calling text messaging is like 4-1. I said 3-1, but it's just these numbers keep piling up. It's like 4-1 versus us calling people that own houses. The response is just I'm just blown away. I can't believe I slept on this for so long. But anyway, but yeah, it's gonna work. But to answer your question, no, you don't have to do cold calling to do that. You can do text messaging, you can do banner signs, driving for dollars, Facebook ads, YouTube pre-rolls, Google AdWords, TikTok ads, other options, direct mail, other wholesalers, you can co-wholesale. What am I missing? Door knocking. Well, if you don't want to do cold calling, you definitely don't want to door knocking. You definitely don't want to do door knocking. Yeah.
And you hate cold calling. I think you got to find a way of creating warm leads. Make people call you. That's putting out your banner signs. 9 times out of 10, a person is not calling "We buy houses" and they looking for a truck. They're calling that sign because you say you buy a house. They either got a house to sell or they're looking for one. So just creating marketing campaigns. Bait leads. Bait marketing ads, just creating those marketing campaigns to make people call you, and therefore now you're not cold calling everyone. You're getting warm leads coming in to you on a daily basis.
All right. Thank you for answering that question, guys. So Chico, you have a question. I can tell by the question that you may be new here. So welcome and thank you for joining us. And this is a safe place to ask questions that other people may be scared to ask. So I say that because the question is, Ty and Renikia, do you need equity for a wholesale deal? And the whole thing, wholesale deal is nothing without equity, right? Is that safe to say? So
a lot of real estate investing is nothing with equity.
Right.
Some of it requires more than others, but equity is the game. We're in the equity game. We're equity farmers. If you want to break equity down, the floor is yours.
I like that a lot. No, absolutely. There's no wholesale deal without equity in it. Absolutely not. Because there's no investor that is buying a deal from anyone that doesn't have equity in it. Now your buyers who buy deals with no equity is retail buyers. They'll buy it all day. It's worth $199. They paying $199. They're not even thinking about equity because they're not purchasing for equity. Investors are. Homeowners purchase because they like the house, they like the area, and things of that nature. So real estate investors, we buy equity, and that's just the name of the game.
All right, thank you for answering that. We do have.
Well, let's do this. Let's just find equity.
Here we go.
Because we're assuming people even know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you the smart. The smart definition of it, and then I'm gonna give you Tyrone's definition, whatever you want to term that is.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. So define. You have this tool, right? It's called Google. It's so powerful. Guess what I typed in? Define real estate equity. Equity is the difference between what you owe on your mortgage and what your home is currently worth, right? All right. If you owe $150,000 on your mortgage loan and your home is worth $200,000, you have $50,000 of equity in your home. That's a good definition. Now, for wholesaling, it's a little different for us because we're doing potential equity. Would you say that, Renikia?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
We're basing ours on potential equity. Like in that example, they said the house was worth $200,000, but technically, in the condition that you may get it in, it may be only worth $40,000. Yeah. So, and if you get it on the contract for that, but we're basing it on what it can be worth. Say you get it on the contract, we'll just use another number, $60,000. So there's really $140,000 in possible equity be captured there. But now you have to take in repairs. Say the repairs were $50,000. So now we're at $110,000. You as a wholesaler you want to make $20,000. So now we're at 130. So now there's a possible $70,000 in equity to be captured by the investor that you wholesale it to. Gross equity or gross profit, because you're still going to have they're going to pay closing costs and, realtor fees and all that stuff normally. So, but 70,000 gross equity is there from our perspective. Now, the way they explain it here is just cut and dry. You owe this much, it's worth this much. The equity is the difference. But for us, it's more potential equity is what we're targeting. That's why ARVs are so important. And you need to be really close in the ballpark on them to know if you actually have a deal or not. You have to think in the terms of the investor. You have to sort of hustle backwards, as they say, by thinking in the mindset of the investor and how they're going to make. Once you can figure out how the investor can make their money, then you know what you can be able to invest. Get the price where you can make your money, right? Okay. So, assuming the seller will accept that. So,
that's it.
All right, there you have it, Chico. Hopefully that helped you along with anyone else. That was interesting how equity played a role in wholesaling.
Oh, it's everything.
It is everything.
And what I love about this example Todd just did is understanding how we create money. How we create money. Right, at the as-is value is maybe only worth $40,000, but if I'm willing to fix it up, I can create another $150,000 just by buying a $30,000 property. It's beauty in it. It's like you able to just create opportunity and create money by just understanding the equity play behind real estate. So.
Okay, so Miss Diane.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Hey, yeah. I'm back. I was on yesterday. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Good evening.
Hi, Ty. Listen, I sent you a deal yesterday, and you sent it back, and I realized the numbers aren't right. And I'm gonna tell you what I found out, and this is what I need help with. I went on Zillow. And I will be getting your prop screen, whatever you call it. But I went on Zillow. Yeah. I went on Zillow and I saw two comps, and the comps, one was before 494,000. The other comp was 400 and whatever thousand. And I used those comps, and come to find out, I talked to a realtor friend of mine who's not in the business anymore, but she's got access to MLs, whatever. She said it was blanket mortgage. That it was like this guy bought so many properties, and this was one of the properties that was in the blanket. In the packet he bought. And so that wasn't a true comp. And how can we tell that? Because clearly on Zillow, it says sold, the date is sold. It told me the amount. I thought, even though I don't know too much about the area, I thought that seemed like a lot. And again, it is. How can we know how can we find out if it's a blanket mortgage if we don't, all we have right now is Zillow? That's number one. And I want you to help me. Go ahead.
Well, you're gonna look at just more than that one property that you're comparing. You're gonna try to see if there's a pattern there. If everything else is selling in the twos, and you just got this outlier at 400 plus, there's something wrong with it.
Right.
Okay.
So you're looking for more consistency at its highest point. But if you see that outlier, because sometimes you'll pull, just use even prop stream. You pull properties, and you may be in a $250,000 neighborhood, but you may see a $1 million sale. That means it was bought in a package, but they treat it as one sale. Now it has a filter in there to remove multiple parcel sales. And
really?
Remove that stuff.
Okay. Move partial. Okay. With that being said, and see the thing, it was two of them. So what I need to make that a real one in the future, I need to see at least three at that.
So you said it was two properties that had a blanket loan?
Oh yeah. I got them. I got them.
Depending on the area, you'll see more than that sometimes.
Oh wow!
I've seen them in areas where the properties are under 100,000. You'll see $700,000, $800,000. I already know it's wrong, so I don't even pay attention to them because I know it's an outlier. You know what I'm saying? Those are package deals, and they just treat it as one sale.
So now you say remove what? What do that filter? Remove what?
That's in prop stream that I was explaining. It's a filter called exclude multiple parcel sales.
Okay, I don't know what's on Zillow, but like I said, I'll be getting your system. But in the meantime, the seller I got is phenomenal. He knows I told him it was an error, but he still want me to do the deal, and he actually gave me another one. So
Was that you asking for the 5K EMD or him?
he wasn't asking for it. It was me. That's what I'm going to tell you. That was me because I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was me asking. He didn't ask.
I can just tell you that you can ask for whatever you want to, but on a 200K property, most of them, some of them do it. It's depending on how attractive the deal is, but they're not expecting to pay 5K EMD on a 200K property. It's just not, $1,000, $2,500 max. Or whatever. That's whatever you want to. And some of them will pay it if you can get it for 200, it's worth 500. Yeah, they might be all over that 5K. You need 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But normally, I'm just saying, and it's not like they're gonna put it in your hands.
Unless it may be a commercial deal.
They're gonna put it in a third party's hands, somebody they trust in most cases. So, but yeah. So,
and I guess
so is the seller thinking that their property is worth what that bulk portfolio? So
when I did tell him that, he didn't give me any pushback on that. So, but I broke it down to him that I noticed it was a blanket, so he was okay. He just wants me to get the right numbers and come back. So, and like I said, he ended up giving me another.
What? Let me see if I can find that property. This will be this. I think this is good.
It's 1631 Wilton Street.
Well, you might not want to give it out, but since you are, go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You want to test the group chat?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
I love the energy. But that's really good. I like your question though, because sometimes we don't realize that sometimes you gotta exclude the most highest comps and you gotta exclude the lowest comps, because sometimes if somebody could just gave their family member a house for pennies on a dollar, right, and you want to exclude that comp because it wasn't an arm's length transaction.
Yeah, okay. You sent over just the street without the house numbers. So just give me the house numbers and I got the street here.
Okay, 1631. Yeah.
I got the rest of it. Okay. Yeah. Let me see, 1631. Okay, so what we got? Okay, so this is in Philly. All right, so he paid $6,000 for it back in 2015. No big deal. Stuff happens. Let me see here. Is this a row house? Of course it is. It's in Philadelphia. So it was a 1925 build. So we'll stay in that range there. Okay. Let's zoom in here. All right, so number 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and do this. Exclude the parcels. Okay, yeah, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Okay. Yeah, they had several in there that was doing that. So the best comp that I see is around 215. So he's asking, I don't know what you got in the contract for, but he's right at, retail on it. The comp that I'm looking at, it was renovated at 215. So, and it was built in 25, same year this was. Square footage is the same. It's the exact comp. Everything's the same. Square footage is 1020, yours is 1020. Lot square footage is 943, yours is 943. Year built 1925, yours is 1925. So that 215 is a good comp, sold back in September. That's your number. And I think you said
he only needs 40,000.
Yeah, 249. Yeah, 2949 asking. Yeah, he's in La La Land.
What is the after repair value?
Now his
215.
215. Now he's asking. I just got the phone with him tonight, and he wants. Let me say he does the repairs himself. He said it needs about $45,000 worth of repairs. And he's asking 104. So what's
what?
He's asking 104.
104, and I probably can take him down a little if we can get it closed. I'm almost sure I can do 100,000 if he wants, because he wants it closed
That's a good deal.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's
Yeah,
not
you're in the money. You're in the money all day.
Really?
You got up to
Okay.
150,000. That's as is. That's purchase and rehab. He said he's only need 40,000 worth of work or 45,000.
45.
You can pick it up for 100,000. You in the money.
Oh, awesome.
You could make a few coins on that. Now, I would try to get it down to maybe 90
Yeah,
or whatever.
absolutely.
Well,
Get it down to 90.
And then you can't go by what he's saying on repairs. Let's just,
Right.
let's
Okay,
establish
okay.
that or whatever.
Okay.
So
So
assuming he's correct on repairs, then yeah, it's a possible deal.
okay. So I'm going to rewrite it tonight because I told him I would, but I wanted to talk to you first because I'm gonna send it your way.
Yes,
Below
ma'am.
100,000. I'm with Ty. Like
So
offering him 90, 95 or something.
90, 95.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't go any higher than what?
If you can get it at 80, get it.
Yeah,
So I-
you
so
give him an 80. Because what you want to do is make it feel like it is more repairs than he say. You say 45, but when we took a look at it, it looks like it's gonna be about 65,000 in repairs. Of course, the seller's gonna always downplay.
Right. And
All of
here's the
that.
thing about him. He rehabs house. Matter of fact, the next one he gave me is rehab, and that's the one I want to send you to, Ty. The next one he sent me, he's done it. Really nice looking. I'm not real well versed like you guys are with that. I'm just getting started again. But it looks good. It looks good. So he does it. So he's like, I don't know if I can have that conversation with him because he's been doing it since he was 19. He's like 52 now. And he knows the numbers. So I don't know. So that's what I was saying. You're saying 90,000, no more than 100,000.
He's asking what, 105?
He's asking for 104.
104?
But he's flexible. If I come in with a number, I think he'll work with it.
Yeah, start at 80 and see what
Really?
see what his motivation
Absolutely.
is.
That'll make him come down to 95 or 99 or something real quick.
Really?
Pull
Okay.
you know what
Chess,
card.
not checkers. It's chess.
So start with 80. Wow. Okay. Y'all ain't gonna. I'm not gonna lose
Hey,
it.
girl, the young lady I dated, well, she ain't no young lady now, but the lady I dated back in college, she lives there. She may buy that. She buys it up there or whatever. So she
Really?
may buy that.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get that one, but I'm gonna send both of them to you. I'm gonna rewrite it tonight and send it to you, Ty. With that, and the other one, like I said, that's a quick one. He said it's really, really nice. All he needs is stove, the appliance, sidings, whatever. He said in his estimate it will cost $555, whatever. He'll let that go for 170, and the comps in that is 360.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, who is
He's
this?
giving that away for what?
Huh?
This same cat.
Same cat. I got 5 of them. That's why I told you I told you last week. You probably
Okay, well, just text me over all the address so I can just.
It seems like he has that's a good portfolio he has.
He does. He's
the numbers are right.
So just send me over the address. I'll send you back my opinion. And I'll let you do your thing before negotiation.
And then when I get it under contract, the other 4 I'll send them to you. Okay.
All right, let's get
You
it.
guys are great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you. What's your
No
name?
problem at all.
Yellow. Any yellow?
Reunique.
Who?
Reunique.
Reunique. Stop
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Beautiful. Thank you. And the other person, I don't see her. Thank you guys. I'm excited.
Thank you. You got gold right now. So hey, see it through.
Yeah.
You can execute something good.
Thank you.
The numbers make sense.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm sending it to you now.
All right.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Do us some, what's the name called? Maybe killings. Do some.
All right, guys. You still have time to join us live. I do see you, Victor. I don't see you on the screen anymore. As soon as I see your head, I will bring you on. So let me go ahead and yeah. Okay. So for Xeasy, what's your approach to targeting foreclosures, and how do you start that conversation if you're cold calling?
Pre-foreclosures?
Targeting foreclosures, and how do you start?
Foreclosures are going to be listed with real estate agents. So that's just a normal conversation that you have with an agent. Proof of funds, make the offer, earnest money deposit, boom.
He's probably thinking pre-foreclosures.
He's probably thinking pre-foreclosures.
Yeah.
Now, pre-foreclosures, same thing. Your first objective, you got to get them on the phone, or however you're going to reach them, or door knocking or whatever. So that's the first thing. Just understand. I don't want to sound like I'm negative, but I like to try to give you the real. That is very competitive, pre-foreclosures, because most people, when they think of real estate deals, the first thing they think about is foreclosures, especially new business, right? And so that individual that's going through foreclosure, they're going through a very difficult time in most cases financially in their life. If they're not paying that bill, they're probably not paying some credit cards, some student loans, some child support, car payments, some utilities. So they're probably getting bombarded with a lot of calls from a lot of debt collectors, right? Now you're trying to call them. Real estate agents trying to call them. Other wholesalers, other investors. Who else trying to call them, Reniki?
You had it.
Yeah, so now I'm trying to discourage, because some people make a significant living targeting only pre-foreclosures, but it's a specialty. All right.
It's a specialty.
Assuming you get past all of that, then the conversation is, I don't think, Renee, you're not going to even mention the foreclosure. You just know it's already exists. You just call them and see if they want to sell their house, and it should come out in the conversation once you start to fact find about the property itself, the history, and so on. That even though you already know that's what the deal is, and they probably know you know. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't come up or whatever. So assuming you could jump through all those hurdles, then hey, the world is yours if you want to pursue those. What do you think?
And then you got to think about pre-foreclosures. They just not getting into hardship. They may be 2 months behind getting into the third month or something of that nature. So they haven't completely detached themselves from this house and things of that nature. So it's just so much moving parts, so many more moving parts. Sometimes you may have to catch up their payments and things of that nature, but it's a lot more moving parts for pre-foreclosures. 9 times out of 10 to purchase them, you either catch them up, they have to sell it and catch up the payments, or is one of those things where you won't even be able to buy it as somewhat of a foreclosure until it goes deeper into foreclosure. So it's just a lot of more moving parts with pre-foreclosure, I would say.
And we didn't even mention short sale. Even if they did talk to you, and the equity may not already be there, as we talked about earlier about equity. It may be worth 300, but they owe 280. That's not a deal. You know what I'm saying? It may be something else, but not a wholesale deal.
Right.
So now they have to reach out. You push them in that direction to reach out to the lender to do a short sale. So lenders are not like they used to be. And it is house by house, lender by lender, but they know they can get, it's just in decent condition, they know they can get retail for these properties. You know what I'm saying? So, and so that to get the number that you need, you spend 3 months, 4 months just waiting on the decision, all the paperwork needed to put that together, and you come back, they go down from 280 to 272. You know what I'm saying? And you just spent 4 months working on this. You know what I'm saying? So
it's not about what you offer them, it's all about what the lender is deciding that they will sell for the short sale. And that's the only way you can get it lower. If you don't go through a short sale, the actual buyer got to sell. I mean, the seller has to sell it for at least what the mortgage is, unless they're going to be coming to the table with the remaining of the mortgage to pay off the mortgage. So it has to go through short sales somewhere. And then now you're at the mercy of, like Ty stated, what the lender is going to sell it for. And they're not giving it away like they was back in 2009, 2010. No, they get an appraiser done. They're going to sell it for true market value. Like, so.
All right. Victor, you're up. Bam. What's going on, man?
What up? How you doing?
We're good. Where you calling from?
LA, Los Angeles.
Victor.
LA in the house.
I'm from Birmingham though, but I stay in LA.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grew up in Birmingham. But yeah, my question is this, cause first off, Flip, man, I'm glad you're on the land now, because I was the one who used to always ask all them land questions. And I was always wondering, I was like,
All
man,
right.
why he don't build
Hey,
with land or whatever?
hey, will you ever forgive me?
Hey, I'm just glad you're here. I'm
We
new
can't
to
be
it. You know what I'm
corrected.
saying? I'm new to it. But my question is this. I kind of came in on, you know what I'm saying? I forget your name, man. But when you were kind of talking about, I guess somebody asked about, finding the value of land. But I heard you kind of talking about, as far as thinking in the mind of the builder. But my question is, say for instance, you trying to comp land and you can't find, like I've been working in Texas, and of course, only thing I can see is MLS stuff. If you can't find a comp of a lot that's sold, within the last maybe year or two, and say for instance, there's no new, it's a nice neighborhood, it's a nice area, nice houses, but there's no new builds in that area. How would you comp it? Would you comp it off of percentages of the houses in that area, or like 10% of the houses in that area? Like, how would you comp it if you didn't have any comps to go off of, or didn't see any new builds?
That's a great question. I mean, I will always pull the property records and see what the tax assessor value is for the land.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
did
tax
that.
assessor will always value the land in some type of capacity. But if there's no comps, then I would probably be scared to determine if this is even a good deal. Because if there's not enough comps to compare it, then maybe there's not enough activity to buy what it is that I'm selling, or to even buy the new build that I need to build on the property. But most importantly, if you buying a property, and this is just my opinion, if you buying land in a subdivision, there's no, I mean, maybe it is, but there has to be in some type of capacity, some type of value you can pull from a comp, even if you got to go out maybe 6 months, 8 months, because the more rural areas are, sometimes you got to go out more, a distance, you got to go out a few more miles, you got to go out, a longer time, or whatever the case may be. But I will continue to go out until I find what it is that I'm looking for first. And depending on how far out is that, then I'm going to determine if that's a good comp or value for what I'm trying to do. If it's 30 miles out, then 9 times out of 10, that's just not a good comp. And I got to really evaluate even if this is even a good deal. But I'm going to start off with the tax assessor value, and I'm going to figure out what can I build on this property. No matter if I can find comps or not. If it's in a subdivision, I know I can build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I can build a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Then I'm going to call a contractor up to figure out, well, how much it's going to cost me to build. And then I'm gonna work my numbers backwards. Okay, if it's gonna cost me $250 a bill, if it's gonna cost me, the value is gonna be $300,000, then the max I can even sell this land for is this. So I have to just continue to work my numbers backwards if I can't find comps. But what do you say, Tom?
Yeah, most definitely. I think you missed the first part of. You've heard what Renika said. I think you missed what I was saying about how you can and Renika might have missed what he was saying. He's in Texas, so it's a non-disclosure
Exactly.
state. You won't get those
Oh,
numbers.
it is. I keep
So that's
forgetting.
why the comps are
So,
only showing up as MLS comps. Those are the only ones I can really
yeah, and so
Right.
no big. So
in
what
the
you'll
state.
do, as I was explaining to the other person, is this one the value of real estate agents come into value for real. Like, so what you want to do is try to target that zip code where the property is located and surrounding zip codes. Normally, that's a good area boundary. And you go to Zillow. I just did it a moment ago, but you go to Zillow and you put in for sale. You go to the home type. You deselect everything except lots or land. And then what you'll do is you look at those properties that are for sale in there, and you can just do the math on if a property is selling, if 1 acre is selling for 30 grand, and you see that's pretty consistent, 30, maybe 35, then you know that's what an acre is selling for. Now, a lot may not be an entire acre, so now you'll have to do the percentages on it. So they'll base the lots on the square footage, whereas the acre, just say an acre, 1.2 acres, or 1.3 or whatever. So now you just have to do your math on it. And as I explained before, an acre is 43,560 square feet. So if you have if you have
Because
a
this one here
lot,
is almost 5,000. What I'm talking about is almost 5,000. So
it's 5,000
5,000
square. So
yeah,
now you're looking at a point,
quarter,
maybe 1/5
.2,
of an
right.
acre or whatever, something like that. So, but that's big enough to build a house on for sure. So,
yeah.
so now you're going to just do your math on what lots of that size are selling for in that area. Okay, you may be able to come up with a number, but what you really want to do, you want to look for agents that appear to be having a number of different listings at different addresses, not in one particular subdivision, because you're going to have one agent just over an entire subdivision. That's not really what you want. You want to look up agents and see the ones that have multiple land listings. So now you want to reach out to them and say, hey, I have a property that I may be interested in buying in the area, and I would appreciate if you could give me an idea of what lots in this area sells for at this particular size. And that's going to be one of your best ways to get the information that you need. There are the tools out there that do it, but they normally cost a little bread when it comes to land. But that's a simple thing that I would do, especially in those non-disclosure states like Texas, I think Missouri, I think Indiana is one of them, some of those smaller states
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
about 13 of them, I think.
So you all
About,
can only see properties that are purchased and sold on MLS only?
Yeah, you can yeah,
pretty
because
much, yeah. I
MLS,
mean, yeah.
that data is connected. So unless you have access to that, then you won't see those actual sales. Now, what PropStream and I think Batley's does, they give estimations based on what properties and what loans have been put on the properties, and they do a percentage of that or whatever. It gives a close enough range. A lot of times, what I'll do is especially recently, I'll check Zillow, I'll check Realtor.com, especially Realtor.com, because that's basically MLS. And so I'll check those to see what they're going, but we're talking about lots, so it's a little different. And they say, and then I'm still being educated on this through, receiving a lot of deals, analyzing, getting opinions or whatever. Normally, if you can be between 20 to 30% of an actual ARV of a property on land, that's normally be like the value of the land, like the retail value of it. So say a house is $100,000 and you can get a lot for 20,000 or something like that, then you need to get it for 10, probably maybe to move it or whatever. So that's another way, simple way of going about it also. But I would try to target agents that have multiple land listings in a particular area, because they're normally going to know. Those are the ones that you're looking for. A good website you can go to also for land is Land of Americas. I think this was Land of Americas. And those agents there, that's all they do. You know what I'm saying? That's the majority of what they do. And normally you can put in any particular city and they may be able to assist you. So you may have to go to 2 or 3, someone to talk to you about it. But yeah, you got to give them the assumption that you're going to be with.
Because the actual situation that I'm in, just to keep it short, is this lady, I called about her property, but hers, the lot I was calling about was tied up into, I guess, her mortgage. So I really didn't want to deal with it, but she was telling me, I guess she owns a water company in it that kind of is a water source to that area or whatever. So she wants to sell the water company with 2 lots. You know what I'm saying, in a package for $50,000 for like 3 lots, and the water company itself. I'm telling her, like, I don't really deal with no water companies, but 2 of the lots are residential lots. The third one, it looked like it was a utility lot, so I guess that's tied in directly into the water business. But the other 2, like I said, were pretty much they are residential lots, and she wants to sell it all in a package for $50,000. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, if I could do 10,000, like I said, both of the lots are almost 5,000 square feet. If I could really get it under contract for maybe 9,000 or maybe 10,000 for both lots and sell them both, she would take home like 20,000. That's almost half of what she asking for the lots and the business. I'm thinking it may go, but in that area, it's not a lot of new builds. It's like one that's like a little bit, maybe like almost exactly a mile away. And that new build sold. It was built in 2021 and sold for like 300,000. And then the other one is like is similar too, but it's a little bit further away.
Let's scratch the new build. What are houses selling for in that area?
See, I just looked up new builds, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
That's really new.
just look up what houses are selling in that area for.
And I also want to know how many houses are selling. I mean, are you talking about 5 sales a year? Are you talking about enough people that really want it? Because sometimes there are just areas where people are just not building nothing. Not saying that people don't want to move into something better, just no one is building in the area. So no one is moving, no one is buying anything in certain areas. So I would want to know, what is the activity of the area? Are you seeing a lot of people buying houses in that area as well?
Yeah, see,
But I
I didn't,
also want to say
I
this. I
didn't look
think
at that.
the more you was talking and understanding the way Texas is set up and a few other states, I think that the gold and the hack in a state like Texas that you all got to partner with a real estate agent or a broker, because I feel that there has to be real estate brokers that have other softwares as only agents and brokers have that can really get, understanding like all the private sales and things of that nature. Like, I just feel like they have some software that they can pull those private sales in. But maybe, in states like Georgia, we don't really have to have a real estate agent and we can still make money. But I feel like in those states, y'all need more information. It's not public records. So just having a real go-to agent behind you is going to be a hack for places like Texas. So they can pull those reports that you can't pull, or you don't have access to.
What's the? I'm gonna tie it into like pretty much one question. But first off, what's the land world looking like in Birmingham? Just because I'm familiar with that area, and it's not a non-disclosure state, I kind of want more data to kind of go off of, and you know what I mean. So, I'm guessing you've been dealing with that area, Ty. What's it looking like in Birmingham as far as?
We have in just the general area, we have really Alabama, not really just Birmingham. We have 84 acres under contract right now. It eventually will start to be marketed next week. Down near the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area, we have another, I think, 3 acres under contract that's starting to be marketed tomorrow. Then we got the one in Texas. I think we're going to have a buyer for that on Monday. Man, we got it's like I say, it's just so many leads, but sort of a little like in a little turtle mode because I'm not the one that's doing the evaluating. I'm dependent on others to do it, because I'm still learning that part of it. So, but I know, but I'm still going to generate the leads. You know what I'm saying? Because it's come whatever as far as me being able to do it, and then I can teach people on my team to do the same thing. This how deep I'm in. I had I didn't even know this software existed until yesterday, but they want $7,500 for it or whatever.
Is it Land Vision?
Yeah,
Is it called Land Vision?
Yeah, Land Vision.
Shit.
I didn't even know it existed until yesterday.
Hey, it's the bomb now. I ain't used
Oh
it,
yeah, the dude give me the demo, and I'm going to I leverage my little Flipman stuff to to get a discount on it or whatever. So I'm gonna probably pull the trigger on it tomorrow. If I'm serious about it, and I am, I thought it don't take me about a second to make a decision on stuff like that. I'm serious about it, and I'm there. I am, and that'll give me an edge because most people ain't gonna spend that money or whatever. And it tells you everything. You know what I'm saying?
It does. It does. Yeah.
I've
seen videos.
Whether the flood zones,
Even buyers. Even buyers.
They got comps, whether what they call them, the elevations, everything. You got
the bomb.
Topographic or whatever, however they say it or whatever, everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like
So you talking
Is
about
it a one-time fee? Is it annual?
topography?
Is it annual? 7,500 annual?
That's annual. That's annual. No payments. One
Wow.
So you said
I
it's
like stuff like that.
7,500.
It separates you. Everyone is not gonna, go the extra mile and invest into their business. It gives you an edge when you find products like that.
Yeah, I'm all over it. I could have did it. If he'd asked me, I would have ripped out the credit card or whatever. How am I gonna pay for it? I was looking out today, but I told him I let him know tomorrow. So
But and I ain't gonna take up too much more. Just one last one. When you wholesaling land, because it's so important when you wholesaling houses, that discount is so important. Would you say that it's the same thing when you're wholesaling land? And if so, like when I'm wholesaling land, can I really compete with the MLS and what that land might sell on the MLS? You see what I'm saying?
It's the same thing. It's even better than houses. From my short time history, I'm just gonna tell you, because there's no competition on it. You know what I'm saying? Even the guys, and I've been watching on YouTube and stuff that have land. There's tons of stuff out there on YouTube on it. A lot of it, they're vague on it, like a lot of people do, or whatever, as far as the information. But some guys get into real detail, and they may only have like 700 views, and I'm talking about they spend some
low views. Almost all the land views be low.
I'm saying they just some real game, you know. Like I'm like, wow, and just wow, so, whatever. Hey, I'm in. Y'all got me. So what I love about it, man, is just the response rate that sellers, you know, through the marketing method that we use. This is the first time I had the signs that said we buy houses and land, but I just created signs just say we buy land.
Right.
And so I still got the houses, whatever, but you know, I'm all
so you
in.
Would say,
and that don't even
say for instance, if I was comping something up.
Just one thing, that don't even get into the underuse of land. Like a lot of times you will see land that has the possibility or already set up as far as zoning to do multifamily on it. It's just never been executed before. They call that, if I'm explaining this correctly, entitlements. You just have to go through the process through the municipality, and depending on what city government or county government you may deal with, it may not be that difficult of a process. It may just be simply calling down there and telling them that's what you want. And they do that and say, okay, it's set up for that now. We'll send you the paperwork in the mail. You can do it. You know, you still have to go through your permits and stuff when you're doing the building. But you know how much value that creates in a property? From being just a single family property. You can pay full price for it now. You know what I'm saying? Because now, and then sometimes you can subdivide the parcels. It may be the piece of the lot that you're focusing on may be actually can be split into 2 to 3 lots because it's oversized for what's allowed in that particular neighborhood. Oh, it's deep, man. I'm telling you.
It's deep. It's funny. It's funny. I just went through that with my family. My family had this plot of land, and we changed it from just it was zone R3, which you can do like up to 3 family, and we changed it to commercial. The land value went from 30,000 to 180,000 just by changing the zoning of the land from residential to commercial. It's amazing what you can do with land.
So in other words, if I had a comp the exact same square footage of a lot, and on the MLS it sold a few months ago for 40,000, you think I could sell it for 40,000 too as a wholesaler?
Yes,
absolutely. That's your comp.
But now obviously you're going to get it cheaper. But yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it cheaper, but I could sell it for the same price and make the same.
Absolutely. That becomes your comp. That's the comp.
So this discount isn't really as important as in houses, in other words.
Well, you got to understand, see, land is already discounted, you know, because 9 times out of 10, if I buy land for 40,000, most likely the dwelling that can go on is going to be a 350,000, 400,000 property that I probably build on it. So you do buy it at a discount when you buy land, because if it was a house on that property, now that property is I probably got to buy it for 75,000 and not 40. But at the end of the day, regardless of the house on it or not, I can still build the same dwelling. So why do I buy it for 75,000 a house when I can buy it for 40,000 vacant land? And so my upside is greater from a vacant land standpoint.
I see.
And don't sleep.
I see.
And don't sleep on owner financing being an option also on land. That's actually easier too. So now, if they need to be evicted, in most cases, you ain't got to remove them. You know what I'm saying?
And it's probably better at virtual wholesaling, because, like you said, it's always open, right?
The door always open on the land.
It's always open. And land is kind of hot right now. We're in a seller's market right now. We're probably gonna be in the seller market for the next 4 or 5 years. land is the hottest out right now. It is.
All right. Well, that's
All right,
all
my
I
man.
need to know.
I
appreciate it.
apologize. Will you ever forgive me?
Hey man, I used to I was just everybody got their niche, but I just was always curious that you give so much information, but land is just not known about like that. So I was like, damn, if Flip Man only talked about some land, like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Well, I appreciate it. Now y'all have a good one.
You
All right,
too.
same to you, sir.
All right. Good.
All right.
That's good.
Let Renika do her things. The doors of the church are open.
Amen. Amen. Is that my cue?
All right, Rennie. So we have some that RD says, do you guys have any ideas where I can obtain funds or a private money lender? I would like to use this as residual income, maybe build a duplex. Woo-hoo!
Yes, let's
All right.
go.
So,
Yes.
Rennie, what
Yes.
could you possibly do for this young man or anyone else that wanted to step their wholesale game and go to the next level?
Yes. Thank you so much. Always super excited and thankful to be a part of the Flipman Show. Of course, I own a private lending company, and my focus is funding and financing. That's what I specialize in, helping individuals to take your wholesale business to a whole nother level. If you are wanting to collect that land, hey, put that money in the land. You can buy a couple acres, $5,000-$10,000, buy it and sit on it. And then one day in the future, you may decide that you want to build a duplex, a triplex, or a quad, or just a single family home. You can build that by us as a direct lender, giving you 100% of your vertical, as long as there's value in the land and value in the overall project. There's a lot of opportunity, no tax returns, no income verification, no pay stubs. We also specialize in fix and flips, buying whole 30-year rentals. Like if you went into the bank and got a mortgage, and you wanted to hold on to your property for 30 years, we have true 30-year rental notes that completely goes into your business name. Nothing shows up on your personal credit. We do not need tax returns, income verification, or pay stubs. But if you are interested in funding your next deal, just go to fundmynextdeal.com.
All right, there you have it, guys. Fundmynextdeal.com. That's where you can reach Renikia, and she is available across all social media platforms. You can like, follow, subscribe to her as well. Ty,
Yo.
what you got? What we closing out with?
Oh, man. But yeah, so we talked about land a little bit. So text MUD, text RAW if you want instructions on how you can partner with us. But I actually did a video on just some lingo, script, what to say to landowners if you want to try to talk to them, but also how to build a list of landowners. So text MUD to the number. Still partnering on the self-storage and apartments. You can text units to that number, and of course 5050 houses. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Rennie, any parting words for us tonight?
Let's be great.
Yeah, all right.
That's it.
Oh, hold on, Daryl. I ain't even see you that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. What's up, Daryl? My bad.
Oh, you ain't gonna do Daryl like that.
What's going on, Flip Man?
What's happening?
Wow.
Where you coming from, Daryl?
It's all good.
Okay. What's your question?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
What's happening, man?
Yeah, so I'm out to be real quick because I'm at work. So hold on.
You got to get fired, ain't
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Go on in that restroom, man. Let's get it.
All right. So this would be a real easy question. If you were starting today, Flip Man, what would be the freeway that you would use to generate leads?
The freeway, I guess it may be maybe the best way, but the freeway would be is build a buyer's list first. right? You don't need but maybe about 5 to 7 good, strong buyers in any market, and target other wholesalers' properties. Other wholesaler properties. Renika, that's how you get down or whatever. So that doesn't cost you anything, but just it could be maybe a little time intense, but it's free. You got that if you don't have anything else. If you're breathing. So that's going to be the free method. Build a strong buyers list first, and then target other wholesalers' properties. Wholesalers are posting their properties everywhere. Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. They have signs out. You're reaching out and networking with all of those. Your real groups. You want to join those online and off as far as the meetups and stuff. But that's the free way. Now the next level up above free, I guess, would be gas a little expensive. So that definitely ain't free. But driving for dollars, they say it's coming down soon. Driving for dollars would be your next level up. That's technically not free, just tank of gas or whatever. So it's still probably $100. But co-wholesaling is what I'm trying to say.
I appreciate it because I know in the past you've talked about using like Zillow and targeting like tired landlords and stuff like that and things like that. So I didn't know if you were starting today if you would still use that method.
I would probably try to do the if just knowing me, especially back then, I would probably have done the driving for dollars. Just knowing me, right? Back then, now we try to grow as human beings, but just back 20 years ago, basically, that's what I was starting to. But what I know now, like I say, co-wholesaling first, driving for dollars, maybe second. Like I say, at driving for dollars, you're going to have an opportunity to target tired landlords just by looking at signage on different properties, the for rent signs, those generic signs that I talk about all the time. So.
And then I add to that, I think, one of the things I did when I first started was, like Ty said, I did a lot of co-wholesaling. For some reason, the money, I attracted the money. For some reason, the buyers that was wanting to buy, maybe because I was a realtor, they came to me. So it's like, okay, I got the money, now I need the houses. So it's easier for me to partner with other wholesalers because I had the money piece, I had the buyers. So I find it easy for me to first start building my buyers list first, and securing the money first, because houses to me was readily available. The money piece was the hardest piece in my opinion, but if I had the money already, finding the houses and partner my buyers with the house that they was looking for was easy for me. So I created a buyers list. Now, one of the things that I did when I first started to create a buyers list, it was this thing called bait ads, to be honest with you. We put a lot of bait ads out there on Craigslist. We put a really great ad out there. Of course, the house wasn't for sale, but we said it was for sale. We had a great deal on it, and now all of a sudden our phones are ringing out, and we say, oh, that deal is under contract, but I have a lot of more properties in my database. Just tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for. So now I'm building my buyers list by just baiting people. And then next thing you know, I'm gonna go find the buyers that they tell me they're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-sided brick. I'm gonna go find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-sided brick, just how they're looking for it in the price range that they're looking for, and I'm gonna match it. Now that 3-bedroom, 2-bath could be a wholesaler's deal. I may not have to go out and really look for it. I just contact my wholesalers and see what other properties that they had and see if I can match my buyers with their properties. I did really great with that. Maybe because I was a realtor, but I did really great by just matching my buyers with wholesalers' properties. And it didn't cost me much. I was a college student at the time. So that's
it.
No problem at all, man. Be safe. Be safe.
Have a good night, Daryl.
All right.
All right, guys, that's it. We are closing out. We've been on for a little over an hour and a half. If you say ready to go. Yeah, I don't know. I love you guys. Absolutely love you guys, and all of you that take time out of your
30 more minutes.
What?
He said RET.
let y'all take out of y'all Thursday, every Thursday, to join us live. This is where you get some valuable information on real estate investing, not just wholesaling. We do talk a lot about wholesaling real estate, little to no cash or credit. But as you heard tonight, it was a lot of talk about land, guys. Land. If you've been hesitating, this is the time. This is the time. Too many avenues to create streams of income to build revenue, not just for you, but for your family and for generations to come. It could be done. Yes. And these are free tools that are available to you right here, right now. So, anything else, Ty?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Renikia, tell the folks bye.
Let's get it. Bye.
See y'all on the flip side.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that.